Now, we would like to give the floor to Tommaso Agnoloni to introduce the Italian experience of the Institute of Legal Information Theory and Techniques.
We'll give a brief overview on a report on the activities that we have carried on in Italy for the construction of the Italian legal vocabulary. I am Tommaso Agnoloni, and I'm a researcher at the Institute of Legal Information Theory and Techniques, which is part of the Italian National Research Council. And as a subject that we work on, we deal with law and ICT, legal information standards, legal semantic web, legal multilingual web, and natural language processing of legal texts. And that's the reason why we joined the Legivoc steering committee. Here I will give a brief overview of what we have done so far for the selection of the candidate legal vocabulary to be brought as input to Legivoc, and the work that we have done on the selected vocabulary in terms of format conversion, supporting platform, publishing and licensing strategy, and what are our plans to improve the Italian national vocabulary. First of all, we selected the Italian representative for Legivoc, following the criteria of representativeness of the selected vocabulary in terms of the subjects that it covers. And also the focus of the selected vocabulary in terms of the subject that is more focused on legislation or on judicial subjects, for example. Then its actual availability in terms of data, in terms of format, and in terms of license, and the fact that the vocabulary is actively maintained, and another important issue is the fact that the vocabulary is effectively used, which means that it's connected to annotated documents that are annotated with respect to the subjects of the vocabulary. So the candidates that we selected are from institutions, so institutional vocabularies. We analyzed the vocabulary of the Supreme Court of Cassation, that is more focused on judicial subjects. Teseo, which is the vocabulary of the Italian Senate, so it's used for the annotation of legislative bills. The Italian version of Eurovoc, that in spite of the fact that it's more focused on European legislation, is very used in Italy in institution at the Chamber of Deputies, and also for the official publication gazette. And then we considered also vocabulary, dodgy vocabulary that we constructed and maintained at our institute for the annotation of legal doctrine. So after this analysis phase, Teseo, which is the vocabulary of the Italian Senate, have been selected in agreement with the Italian Senate and the Ministry of Justice. Teseo dates back to the 1992, but it actually originated in the list of subject descriptors for the classification of parliamentary acts, and it's rooted in the terminology that was in use in parliamentary paper indexes since 1848. Teseo is structured as a thesaurus. It's a mono-hierarchical thesaurus, so the single class of most frequent use is used as the head of the three. It contains relations of broader and narrower terms and related terms, and also use for lexical variants of concepts. And it is based on the universal classification. It's connected with the CDU, the universal classification, and it extends it. So one important thing in terms of its content is that it's not specialized in a particular field, but it extends to the whole social, legal, scientific reality which is object of legislative norms. So it's not only, at least, a legal vocabulary, but it's more universal classification. It is structured in 45 areas where descriptors are grouped, which are the top terms of the vocabulary. They have different level of granularity, and it reflects the interest of the Parliament, because it evolves with the activity of the Parliament. And one important thing is that it's regularly maintained and periodically updated. Usually it's updated at the end of every legislature. The current version contains more than 3,000 concepts and almost 2,000 relations. And this is how Teseo, when we started, was available. It's available from the website of the Senate, and this is its structuring in top terms, and its hierarchy and its alphabetical view. Another important aspect, as I said, that Teseo is actually in use for the subject annotation of bills inside the Senate, and the annotation is both at the level of the whole Act, of both of parliamentary bills, acts and dossier, but also the annotation is available at the level of the single articles of the bill. So it's quite a very big important source of data, the connection among between the text and the subjects that can be reused, and this is one of the reasons why we chose this. And what we have done is conversion into the SCOS format. Maybe this will be explained later. But anyway, what is important for the reuse and for the publication on the web in interoperable and distributed way is the use of a common format with a shared semantic, and this allows the single vocabularies to be connected and to be connected in terms of the semantic and their descriptors. The SCOS is a W3C recommendation. It's a very simple knowledge organization system, which is centered around the notion of concept. Each concept is related with other concepts, with the relations of broader, narrower, and related relations. And each concept can have one or more label associated to it, which are the lexical expression of the concept, and specifically the preferred lexical expression and all the available alternative expressions. What we have done is to make available the thesaurus that we selected, the Teseo, into SCOS, and to do this we developed some software for the lossless conversion from the available text-based data dump, which is available here, which is something that we started from, into the representation into SCOS. And especially the definition of the namespace for the publication on the web of the vocabulary, and the specific URIs, the identifiers to associate to each descriptor. this activity intersected with what is being done in the Italian Senate since some year, which is an openness strategy, an open data strategy for the publication of every data that the Italian Senate produces into an open data portal. These are released with open format, specifically in RDF, and with an open license, the Creative Commons 3.0, and the same has been done and will be done for the vocabulary expressed in SCOS. What is important, in fact, is that SCOS, the SCOS format, which is expressed in RDF, is fully linked open data compliant. So this means that we put our small piece to the linked open data cloud, and the data that are published are available for the interconnection and the reuse to other, and especially for the interconnection to all the other vocabularies and the alignment to all the other vocabularies that will be published in Europe. To say that is, for example, the availability of the open data in the Italian Senate, for example, allows for the creation of very simple, this is just an example of a very simple exercise of reuse of the open data of the Senate, where with a simple query in Sparkle, which is the query language for the semantic web, to the data published by the Senate, you can have, for example, the representation of the workload of the annotation of the articles of the bills that have been presented in the Parliament during a period of time, for example. What we are doing and we'll do during next year is the development and testing of a platform, a web platform for the maintenance of the vocabulary, of the Teseo vocabulary directly into SCOS, and to do this we will probably reuse the Workbench platform, which have been originally developed by FAO, the United Nations Organization for Food and Agriculture, and we tested, and we will probably reuse this platform for the whole management of the evolution and maintenance of the vocabulary. And what we are going to do during next year is to augment the vocabulary that we published with mappings obtained by semi-automatic semantic alignment with other national vocabulary and to the Italian version of Legivoc, and indirectly we will realign with the vocabulary that have been published and have been made available with the Legivoc project. We will also do some extension to cover jurisprudential subjects, which is one of the subjects that we are working on, and also for thesaurus management, as I said, and also for the support of automated document indexing based on the connection of the descriptor of the thesaurus with the legal text that are connected. And that's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Tommaso. It was very interesting to see how ITTIG has been capable of helping structured vocabularies evolve in the framework of the semantic web. So it was really interesting to discover your methods.